Hello from the Yarn Closet in Tucson, Arizona. I think I need to do something with my hair today. Yarn Closet AZ on Instagram, the Yarn Closet blog over on Patreon, and we have free patterns over there. A lot of them, different kinds, crochet, knitting, loom knitting, things to do with circular sock tubes if you receive them as gifts. I just couldn't do another day of narration only and not being able to see my face when I podcast. I don't know. Oh, stop whining. Guess which dog that was. And I don't know what's going on. I'm like teary today and it's chilly. What? I'm podcasting. Okay, as frequently happens, we're taking a Magnus break. Because guess what? Guess what? That's all about this. I'm going to interrupt you until you give me a little yummy. Which means I can dump my tea bag, constant comment decaf. I just love it. And go back and sit down. Early morning, I started a pot roast in the crock pot. Got it a little bit too full, but it smells wonderful because I put some big bay leaves in there. I love that smell. And the funniest thing, so I thought I'd share, because my mojo is like waning right now. But I managed. Do you need to go outside? Is that it? Do you need to go outside? Okay. All right. All right. Outside? Okay. Okay. Go get it. He didn't really need to go outside. He just knew that was another way to get a yummy. See this? The hat I made my husband? It actually is getting worn. It makes me feel so good. It's pilling quite a bit. It was merino from, is it Red Heart that Marley Bird does merino through, superwash merino? Anyway, tearful today. I don't know why. It's the end of the semester. It's hard to take the big tests with my son. And it's been a tough year. Part of what they said going into this year is we're going to teach you out of necessity how to take notes this year. And that's not going real well. But of course, he's still getting good grades, A's and B's. He may end up with 1C, but I'm not overly concerned about grades. As much as I felt I missed out on college in my life, I feel like I would have gotten a degree that was necessitated by my choice of career. But because I didn't. So I had jobs that I didn't need that. But I'm not going to press my kids to go to a 4-year college unless they actually need that degree for something. Like a law degree because they want to be a paralegal or a lawyer or a nurse, a nursing degree or whatever. I don't see the value in it anymore in our day and age when it's so hard to have financial independence and security and not get caught up in that thingy thing. So, and now he's at that age where he's like, why do we have to learn this? Why do we have to do this? When do you do this? I don't ever use this math. I know it, but I don't ever use it. I don't ever use the science knowledge that I have. I don't ever use the history knowledge I have about certain things. But it's trying to convey to them, why you're doing this. And that can be a challenge when you've got a student and a person who is just so literal. If A doesn't get you to B immediately and right now, then there's really no point in it. So it's tough. But I was just sitting here in my weepiness thinking, what am I going to vlog about? And I thought, oh, I'm going to vlog about this. And look at these. I'm loving these. I'm going to post pictures about these. Do you see that little heel winky dink right here? I got lazy one day. My sock mojo was dying. So I decided, what would happen if I just cut in an afterthought heel, knit a bunch of rows without any decreases, bound off. What if I did the same thing on the toes? You know what? It's great. That's what. It was easy, it was fast, and they still fit. And yes, I can't wear every pair of shoes with them, but I can slip on my slightly oversized boots, and they're great around the house, and who cares? I'm also really enjoying my sock machine again. I had a period of time where that was not happening. And here, I still haven't handed these out. And I'm learning through just trial and error. For some reason, it was really hard for me initially to just do a lot of trial and error on it. Because it was hard enough to get an actual sock tube to knit out without errors and snags and blah. So I've mastered the hung hem. I can do this little bit of a scalloped hung hem, like a picot edge, pretty easily. And the next thing I'm going to jump into is like, how can I do some lacy type patterns, basically with like yarn over spaces. And also what I did in here is I did a faux rib, so I pulled some needles out at a certain point, and it gives it a bit of a rib texture. If you pull out more needles and the rib is closer together, these were all spaced 4 or 5 needles apart, it gives it more rib, like more stretch. So this was just a little bit more decorative. And they're just a simple pair of MCN like wrist warmers. I decided not to even put the thumb in. But now I'm realizing it's a good thing I didn't hand these out to her, because I forgot to fix one of the oopses on the inside. See? See? It's hard enough to just knit a stinking tube. So I'll have to fix that. And then maybe I can give it to her today when I pick up the child. She sometimes wears scarves in the classroom. And what do you do when you give something where the ball band says hand wash, lay flat, but it's an MCN? Why does it say hand wash? And no, it doesn't specify superwash merino, but it's like, how do you explain to people how to hand wash things nowadays? Because so many people wouldn't know. Oy, oy, oy. And sadly, I don't think I still have the ball band. I have a ball band for a different color. Maybe I'll just cross out the color name and give her the ball band and let her figure it out. I think that's the tough thing about these hand knits. Because honestly, I didn't want to have to hand wash anything. I was intimidated by the idea of blocking. If I couldn't just throw it in the washer and dryer and have everything kind of work itself out, that idea kind of bothered me. But once you see the real benefit to how the yarn blooms, things feel softer, like everything, I think nowadays especially we have to see benefits before we're motivated to do things, which is kind of crazy. But there is my Vlogmas for today. We all made it through. Have another lovely day, and hopefully I'll be posting an edit on the winter lights. Look with your heart first.